Probably the best word to sum up last night's Prescott Mojave football game in Bullhead City: yikes. For those of you listening or watching the game on KYCA last night, it looked like it was going to be Prescott all night long. They came out, their first two drives, a total of 5 plays, and boom, 14-0 Badgers. Well, hey, this is looking good. Then at halftime, it was 28-28. Okay, well, instead of a one-sided game, as the quote from my old Ace Combat video game goes, we got ourselves a dogfight. Second half, it became a one-sided game, and it was a one-sided game that went Mojave's way. Prescott just could not stop the Thunderbirds' offense, and theirs was just stagnated, and Prescott, well, unfortunately, came out on the wrong end of a 63-28 score. Gio Puglisi, he came back from injury, and he looked, pretty good out there last night. Chucked 3 touchdown bombs to Kenny Miller-Terry. Jacob Chamberlain had a rushing touchdown. Kingston Douthit, he snagged his 3rd interception of the year, and those were the main highlights for Prescott. It was really a rough night for him defensively. Just so many Mojave receivers who were wide open, and their quarterback, Joe Yoni, he had great protection from his O-line, just giving him all kinds of times to throw the ball, or if he couldn't find a receiver in the open, well, he just ran the ball in himself. And also, as you can probably tell from all my groaning and complaining and pencil throwing from last night, it was a penalty fest. Here a flag, there a flag, everywhere a flag. I will admit, most of them were legit. But there were a couple of pass interference calls that were very questionable. And then Prescott got dinged by a taunting call after one touchdown, and I'm sorry, not sorry. Can we just do away with taunting calls and excessive celebration penalties? Like they really have any kind of impact on the outcome of a game. Like it's so bad that players show emotion. And I know some people out there are going to say, well, John, that's not good sportsmanship. Yes, pointing is just so abhorrent. What kind of monster could do such a thing? I've said it before. Sports is entertainment, and I find stuff like that entertaining. It just adds to the overall game experience. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here. Go to a volleyball match, and the girls are jumping around and spinning and yelling and waving their hands in the air and waving them like they just don't care, and nobody says anything about that. Meanwhile, okay, hang on. Let me do this imitating Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. In volleyball, the players can jump and yell and dance after every single point, and nobody panics because that's all part of the game. But in football, if someone just points at another player, well, everybody just loses their minds. Just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on to other local football action from last night. Bradshaw Mountain, they bowled over Flagstaff 49-6. Kylan Jackson, 3 big rushing touchdowns. He had 2 from about 50 yards out, another one from 40 yards out. And in the process, he broke the school record for career rushing touchdowns. So congratulations, Kylan. Great job. I think that guy might be the front runner right now for Grand Canyon Region Offensive Player of the Year. Mike Sanford, he also had 2 touchdown runs and 2 touchdown throws for the Bears. Chino Valley, man, oh man. They had themselves a slobber knocker with Brigade Catholic last night. Battle to the bitter end, but unfortunately, Cougars came up short in that one, 21-14. Nothing to report for Mare because they were off last night. So there is your Friday night local football recap. Now, moving on to football at the professional level, boy, did the NFL generate a Category 10. I can't say that word, so I'll just say a Category 10 fiasco in a toilet bowl, because got to keep it clean on this show. So they announced the performer for this season's Super Bowl halftime show, and it's Bad Bunny. And when I saw the article about it, my first reaction was, who the heck is this Muppet? I never heard of this guy until now. Now, granted, I'm very contrarian with my taste in music. Some people might call me a music snob, and they would be correct about that. But, even I've heard of guys like, say, The Weeknd, who did the halftime show 2 years ago. So the dude is a rapper from Puerto Rico, and actually he has stated that he refuses to perform live in the United States due to, shall we say, certain enforcement policies from the current administration. Now, no surprise, that has not sat well with a lot of people. Also, if you've stated you're not going to perform live in the United States, and I should specify, Bad Bunny stated he will not do live shows on the mainland United States. He'll still perform live in Puerto Rico, even though that's technically performing in the United States, since Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. But I digress. So Bad Bunny says that he will not perform live in the United States, but apparently he will do the Super Bowl halftime show. So basically, his boycott is, I refuse to perform live in the U.S., but I'll make an exception for the Super Bowl, which to me is a bit hypocritical. I mean, putting aside whether or not you agree or disagree with his stance, I say if you're going to boycott, go all in. Not, oh, it's the Super Bowl. Well, that's different. Now, to me, a good example of this is Jim Carrey, who refuses to be in movies that feature guns because he's rather anti-gun. I imagine he made this declaration well after he did that movie, The Mask. Now, I don't see eye to eye with Jim Carrey when it comes to firearms, but you know what? I give the guy some respect because, to my knowledge, he stands on his convictions. He really does not do movies that have guns. So, give credit where credit is due. So, once again, the NFL has doo-dooed the bed and have completely divided the fan base. And a lot of people are saying they're going to boycott the Super Bowl halftime show or just the entire Super Bowl period because they've had it with politics getting in the way of football. And also some people have complained about Bad Bunny doing all his songs in Spanish. And to be honest, that's really not an issue for me. There are quite a few bands I listen to who sing in another language. Arcona, they sing all their songs in Russian. The Who, that's The Who, H-U. They sing most of their songs in Mongolian. Sabaton did an English version and a Swedish version of their album Careless Rex. Null Positive and Rammstein, they sing all their songs in German. Music is universal, and I feel like you don't have to speak the language to enjoy a song. But I'll tell you this, Rammstein would put on a killer halftime show. Now, you'd probably need every fire truck in Northern California there as a precaution, since Rammstein loves their pyrotechnics. And if you don't believe me, watch their live performance of Du Hast from Paris. And also, there is a huge clamor to have Metallica and or Journey do the halftime show, since it is in the Bay Area, and, we have the usual rants of, for once, can we just get a rock or metal act? Well, I know the answer to that, and apparently what happens is the NFL has subcontracted everything to do with the Super Bowl halftime show to a company run by Jay-Z. So I guess the people working for that company are unaware there are more musical genres out there besides rap and hip-hop. And I've said it several times on this show. This would be my format for the Super Bowl halftime show. 1 year, rock or metal. The next year, rap or hip-hop. The next year, pop. The next year, country. Then rinse and repeat. And I think most people would be cool with that. But I don't think the NFL will do that because, much like Hollywood, they don't give a rat's you-know-what about their fans. With all the stuff going on with the halftime show, I think I'm to the point now where I'd actually be happy if, like, Nickelback or Imagine Dragons did the Super Bowl halftime show. And I don't even like their music. It's boring. But at least it'd be something different. All right, anyway, folks, 928-541-1016, number to call here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Break time here on the Roundup. We come back. We're going to be talking some Chino Valley volleyball. In the studio with me, I've got their coach, Deidre Soto. I've also got two of her players. We've got Liliana Rodriguez and Avery Bradshaw. So we'll be talking about their season as Chino Valley really heating it up of late. They're winners of their last 3 PowerPoint matches in a row. So we'll be talking about their season on the other side of the break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here, and in the studio with me today, it's Chino Valley Volleyball Day today on the Roundup. We've got Coach Deidre Soto and two of her players, Avery Bradshaw, Liliana Rodriguez. Ladies, good morning, and thanks for joining us here.
Good morning.
Okay, so Coach, I'm going to start with you because we go back to August, and as I wandered into your gym to do my season preview interviews, and you probably looked and said, oh, geez, here comes John again. One of the things you mentioned to me was, I've got a very young team this year. In fact, Liliana over here is the only senior on the team. So I guess a lot of question marks for Chino Valley going into the season. So maybe how long did it take to maybe answer some of those questions you had about this very young team for the 2025 season?
They're, I don't know, a few weeks. Like, we had to learn to work together and build on trust so that they can feel comfortable together on the floor the whole time. Mm-hmm. And they're building on it. And they've worked really hard since the beginning of the season to do so, and it's showing.
All right. So, Avery, you're the setter for the team, so obviously a lot of responsibility, a lot of leadership falling on your shoulders. So what was it like for you having so many young players around there and I guess kind of having to shepherd them in the varsity way of play?
I thought it was really interesting because, like, you don't really get to see all the, like, new potential very often because you usually come into a varsity team and it's just, like, seniors and they've all been playing for a while. But, like, being able to, like, talk to these people and, like, help them grow has been really fun.
Okay. And Liliana, like I said, you're the sole senior on this team, so a lot of leadership responsibility falling on your shoulders. So what was it like for you going back to August, walking in there and going, I'm the only senior here, and Boy, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to have to do this year that I've never done before.
Well, since like we've all been a team before, I was like, this is not that new, but I wasn't used to being the only person there, so I was like, I have to find my person to like hang out with and help me with the responsibilities of being the senior, and that was Avery.
Okay. And Coach, just talk about how long it took before things really started to gel with this very young Chino Valley team.
Well, they had their moments in every game. They would gel like in the first set, and then all of a sudden it would just break down in the second set. And then they'd have to try to fight their way back in the third set, which they would do. But by that time, it was a little too late. Now they're gelling in the beginning. They're staying together in the middle. And they're not letting, like, those deficits get the better of them anymore. They're working through them and battling hard to come back.
Okay. And Avery, I know the first few matches of the season, bit of struggle there, not too much fun. First 4 matches of the year, Chino Valley went 1-3. So what was it like for you, for Liliana, as the leaders of the team, just trying to, build up the confidence and just tell the players that, hey, things are going to get better?
Well, obviously it's a little frustrating just because, it's like you want to be able to win and stuff. And when you know that the team has so much potential to win, it's frustrating to see them just not believe in themselves and keep going into that slump. Mm-hmm. But it grew, and that was a lot of it was a joy to watch them come out of their shells.
Mm-hmm. So, Liliana, what were maybe some of the pieces of advice you gave the younger players after that stretch of losing 3 out of your first 4 matches? What was some of the advice you were giving them to say, hey, we can still do this. The season's still young. We can still be successful.
Just to find their own way to get out of their head, because I know I struggled with that a lot when I was younger, and I still do. But you just have to find your own way to fix yourself and find your way and come together as a team. And that was one thing that got frustrating with all of us, and we just took our time in the locker room to sit down and talk and just hang out as a team. Mm-hmm. And that's what helped a lot.
And Coach, what about you? What were some of the pieces of advice you were dishing out to your players after those early struggles in the season?
They need to trust each other. They need to trust the coaching staff, and they just need to talk. Really, communication. They would all stop talking, so they just had to learn to keep talking. Whether they were mad or sad or frustrated, they had to learn to keep talking.
Mm-hmm. And Avery, after that, those first 4 matches, you go into a big tournament. You had the Ash Fork tournament, and just a whole ton of matches that you girls took part in over that 2-day period. How much do you feel that helped the team moving forward, all those matches?
Honestly, a lot, because after those matches, it kind of felt like the team really we genuinely believed, because we were winning and we got 3rd. So that was a really big boost in our energy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Liliana, looking back at that Ash Fork tournament, was there any particular point there where you looked around the team and felt, you know what, I think if we stay on this course, we could actually have a really good season?
Yeah, it was the second day of the tournament, and it was we all got there, and we were actually hyped up in the morning more than we were the first day, and we just kept winning, and we were sticking together as a team, and we barely got down on ourselves, and that's when I was like, yeah, we got this season. It's going to be a good one, for sure. So,
Coach, after that 2 days of, I don't know how many matches you were in, 50, 60, 70, it was a lot. But after that 2-day tournament up in Ash Fork, what were your thoughts of this team as you were on the bus and heading back to Chino?
They battled, and they learned to fight together, and I was like, this is going to be solid. We're good. We're going to be a great season. We can go into the season with very much highs instead of a lot of lows, and they've done that. We went into our first few region games, and they dominated. So, and they're battling, and honestly, I think it's only up from here.
All right. And, speaking of battling, Avery, I was over at your ladies' match with River Valley Monday. And, it's kind of like I said in the recap. It's yeah, you ladies swept River Valley, but It was probably one of the hardest sweeps for any team ever, because it seemed like every single match you ladies were down, and I'm not talking about by like 1 or 2 points. I'm talking sometimes 5, 6, 7 points you were down, but you still came back every single set, won every single set. So what were some of the secrets there to being able to come back from all those deficits and get the win?
I definitely think it was just playing smart and putting the ball away. And for me personally, giving it to like the right players who I know in that moment were able to put the ball away.
Mm-hmm. And Liliana, for yourself, what were some of the things you saw out of Chino at that River Valley match that really impressed you by the way they kept coming back every single time?
Whenever someone was down, one of the front row people or the coaches or our team would like just lift us up and cheer, and that's something that brought us back every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Is like hearing the voices, and then also people in the stands just there cheering for us. It lifts our spirit a lot.
Yeah. And, Coach, one of the other things I noticed is, you didn't have to rely on just maybe 1 or 2 players. It seemed like there were it seemed like everyone you put out on the court made some big-time contributions. One that sticks out in my mind is one of your sophomores, one of your many sophomores, Addison Affman, who came in, and she was just slaying it. Serving, I mean, ace after ace after ace. I mean, geez, I wanted to dedicate that Iron Maiden song "Aces High" to her because she had about 4 or 5 aces that night.
Yeah, no, she's got a solid serve, and it's very consistent. And I know if she goes into that position, it's going to be over the net 99% of the time. And so she did her job, and she brought us back and got us ahead, and we won that game because her serves were so consistent.
All right. Well, folks, we're going to take a break here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We come back. We're going to have more with Coach Soto and 2 of her players, Avery Bradshaw and Liliana Rodriguez from the Chino Valley volleyball team. But before we go to break, as always, it's time to see who shined over the past 7 days as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup 3 Stars of the Week. Starting with the ladies, our number 3 star is actually a teammate of theirs. It's Peyton Granillo of the Chino Valley volleyball team. She made 32 digs in the Lady Cougars' 3-0 sweep of River Valley on Monday. The number 2 star is Rihanna Aguilar of the Prescott flag football team. She had an 86-yard touchdown pass, a rushing touchdown, and an interception on defense in the Lady Badgers' 19-0 shutout of Mingus Monday. And our number 1 star of the week is Mackenzie Proffer of the Bradshaw Mountain volleyball team. She recorded 33 assists in the Lady Bears' 3-0 sweep of Coconino Wednesday. Also in that game, Proffer reached the 1,000 assist plateau for her career. Now for the guys, our number 3 star is Kylan Jackson of the Bradshaw Mountain football team. He had a rushing touchdown and returned a punt 64 yards for a touchdown in the Bears' 31-21 victory over Mojave last Friday. The number 2 star is Trace Overton of the Prescott football team. He registered 8 tackles, a sack, and an interception in the Badgers' 48-0 homecoming victory over Mingus last Friday. And our number 1 star of the week is Braylon Johnson, also of the Prescott football team. He rushed for 149 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Badgers' 48-0 rout of Mingus last Friday. Congratulations to all our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We'll be back right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here in the studio with me today. I have Coach Deidre Soto from the Chino Valley volleyball team. Also a couple of her players, Avery Bradshaw and Liliana Rodriguez. Chino Valley, like I said, they're on a bit of a hot streak right now. 3 straight PowerPoint match wins. They got a 3-0 victory over Highland Prep back on September 23rd. And then this past week, sweeps over River Valley and Kingman. And you guys didn't even have to go to Kingman for that match, so lucky you.
In a couple weeks.
Okay. All right. Well, as usual, when we have athletes here on the show, we got to find out a little bit about their teammates. And just so you know, folks, yes, I did brief Avery and Liliana about what we do with lightning round here, so I'm not throwing this as a surprise to them. Again, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood. Do I feel evil today or do I feel beneficial today? So today you got me on one of my I'm feeling beneficial days. So Liliana, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. I already briefed you on this. You should be ready for it, especially with that energy drink coursing through your veins. I think I might need an energy. You should have brought another one for me. I think I might need. Well, I got to bed at like 1:30 this morning because we were out at Bullhead City, but actually, yeah, I think I'm fine right now, so I think I'm good. Okay, anyway, Liliana, who on Chino Valley would you say is the best dressed player on the team? Who is the team fashion plate?
Kinsey Murphy.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, we remember her from softball last year. All right. Now, Avery, who on Chino Valley would you say is the funniest player on the team? Who's the team comedian?
Sammy.
Okay. And that would be Sammy Amaya?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What makes her so funny?
She's just a funny guy.
All right, Liliana, we're going to go in the opposite direction here. Who on Chino Valley would you say is the most serious player on the team?
Me. Out of everyone, it's me or Peyton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Avery, who would you say is probably the most talkative player on the team? That the player who, if I did an interview with them, I'd be there all night because they couldn't stop talking.
Mackenzie.
Okay, so and that would be Mackenzie Greigar. Is that how you pronounce her last name?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Liliana, on the opposite end, who would you say is the quietest player on the team?
Addie Affman.
All right.
Yeah.
Miss Aces High from Monday night. Okay. Now, Avery, and I know there's a lot of debate on this particular question, but who on Chino Valley would you say can eat the most in one sitting?
Gosh. Okay.
Even though we went over this, still got to think about it.
Probably.
Guess it depends on the day.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Mackenzie always brings snacks, so like maybe Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Greiger again. Okay. And Liliana, I guess when it comes to snacks, I guess your favorite snack from what you told me before we went on the air is what, seaweed?
Yes, I love seaweed.
Oh, can I ask how you came to love eating seaweed?
I love sushi, and it's on sushi, so I was like, why not try it without sushi? So I just found the little packs, and I started eating it.
Now we should clarify here because Liliana, along with volleyball, you're also part of the Chino Valley girls wrestling team, and
Yes.
you've actually had a pretty accomplished career as a wrestler, and that's one of the reasons why you found, I guess, seaweed as one of your favorite snacks, huh?
Yes, because it's very light and delicious, and I just love it.
Yeah. Okay. To each their own, I guess. Well, at least you didn't say coconut. Then I'd probably be just going, blah, blah. Oh no, you like coconut, don't you?
I do.
Oh.
It's so good.
Oh no. It's like between that and guacamole, I just can't. And
Oh,
yeah,
John, you're killing me.
and as usual when I say that on the show, everyone just gives me the stink eye. It's like, well, Avery, didn't you say like your dad doesn't like avocados or coconut?
my dad
No,
doesn't.
your dad. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so a bit of a kindred spirit there. Now you say you didn't like coconut, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So see a little kindred spirit there. Dig that. Okay. Well, getting back to volleyball now. Now, since we've, I think, exceeded our questions and comments about food here. Well, actually, Avery, let me get with you here. How did you get interested in playing volleyball?
Well, in North Dakota, it's one of the only like indoor sports because it snows a lot there. Like obviously had the others, but I just really wanted to try volleyball, and then I ended up loving it. So
Yeah, and I guess that's what some people may not know. It's like you actually were born in Chino Valley, then your family moved to North Dakota, then you came back to Chino Valley, right? How did that happen?
my dad's work. He moved up there to do something for his job, and then ended up moving back. So
Okay, so Liliana, how did you get interested in playing volleyball?
Well, I started playing in 5th grade because I found it interesting because my brother played, and so I was like, I'll try it because I need something to do other than I used to play soccer, but that's not it. And then when I got to high school, I was like, I can't only do wrestling because wrestling's in winter, and I needed something to like do to keep my grades up because like if I have sports, then my grades will stay up. So I was like volleyball, and I really took a liking to it in high school because it was more competitive, and that's just
Yeah, and then like you said, you're also on the wrestling team. In fact, as for those of our viewers watching our live stream, as you can tell from your sweatshirt, the Pat Kenny Invitational there. So how did you decide that you wanted to go out, especially since girls wrestling at Chino Valley is kind of relatively new? How did you decide you wanted to take part in that?
My family are all wrestlers. They all wrestled in high school, so me being the only girl to like do it felt cool. So I just like did it my freshman year, and I made it to state, and then I just kept going because I fell in love with it. It's very fun, actually.
Okay, Avery, what about you? You do any other sports besides volleyball?
I dance. If that counts as a sport in your book.
You know what? We'll make it count as a sport in my book then, I guess. Being generous today.
There's a lot of agility and cardio in that.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sure that probably helps on the volleyball court. Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
How specifically does your dancing help on the volleyball court? Aside from your excessive celebrations after a point.
Definitely with like, what's it called? Like being able to keep going.
Cardio?
Yeah, cardio.
Okay.
I could not remember the word. And just like the agility, like you're able to like, I'm able to move quicker and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And well, Coach, you're going back to our last segment here on the show. I mentioned about the Spartan Classic up in Ash Fork. You also did the Epic Tourneys volleyball tournament. So that's a whole ton of matches over a 2-day period. But how important do you feel it is to have these girls playing so many matches at these tournaments, especially against schools that are outside of the 3A conference?
It's good. It's a learning experience, and it gives them time to work on things that they need to build confidence in outside of region play. So they can come into region play and be confident in themselves.
Okay. And Avery, like I said, there's just a ton of matches that you ladies have to play over these 2 days. How exhausted are you after that 2-day period playing so many matches?
Honestly, not that exhausted. It was more of an adrenaline rush.
Okay.
And I'm still going high on it. So hopefully it doesn't crash on the game night.
Liliana, what do you think are some of the most valuable lessons that you and your teammates take away after being part of tournaments like that?
That there are definitely harder teams out there, and like playing against them really helps us come together. Like we all work and we get to our spots when we're supposed to, and we just flow like so much better after tournaments because like the people we play are hard, but those are like top level teams, and it just feels good like being able to keep up with them.
All right. So, Coach, going back to August, when, again, like I said, you had all these young players, a lot of them inexperienced at the varsity level. Going back to August, and now looking at where we are here, October 4th, with just a few weeks left to go before the regular season is over, what are some of the things about Chino Valley that have really impressed you the most from their progress?
That they're clicking. They're clicking, they're communicating, they're moving like a well-oiled machine. as you could see on Monday, like they were in the right spots at the right time. They were picking up digs that they haven't been able to pick up. They were putting the ball away, which is something we struggled with last year when they were just freshmen on the varsity team. They were afraid to just put the ball away or try to kill the ball. And everybody's doing that. Everybody is contributing. And I have a solid 6 hitters on the team on the floor at any given time. And they're utilizing their skill. So.
Okay. And when you look at the way things are stacked right now in the 3A conference for volleyball, top 24 teams make it into the postseason. You have a play-in round, and then you have the state tournament proper. So, again, top 24 teams make it. Chino Valley right now, you ladies are bit on the outside looking in. You're at number 26. Winslow is ahead of you at number 25. You got Coolidge at number 24 with, if the season ended today, they would get the final playoff spot. But again, Coach, just 2 points out of a playoff spot and a few weeks to go. So playoffs definitely a reality for Chino Valley Volleyball this year, huh?
Yes, it's amazing, and I believe they can get there. We just got to play together and communicate and get our serves in.
That would be awesome to go. My senior year, that would be so cool.
Yeah. And, Coach, when was the last time Chino made it to the playoffs?
My first year, we made it to the play-in round, I believe.
Okay. So a bit of a drought here, but this year looks like the drought has a good chance of ending.
Yeah.
All right. And Avery, what about you? Again, so close. Playoffs are definitely within reach. What do you feel it's going to take for you ladies to do what you can, run the table, and get into the playoffs this year?
Probably just keep playing the way we've been playing. Like, keep playing as a team, keep getting the energy up, and keep getting really hype, and playing like our hardest and fighting for it.
Okay. Liliana, kind of echo those sentiments or what?
Yeah. I think that, if we just keep it up and keep our energy up and stay, close like we are, because it feels really good to be a tight team. Like, we're all together and you can go to them to talk about anything. I feel like if we keep that bond together and then that bond on the court, then we got it.
Okay. So, Coach, looking at the remainder of your schedule here for the month of October, what do you think could be some of the more challenging matches that Chino Valley is going to be facing over the next few weeks?
Human Catholic, probably ALA, and Odyssey's going to be pretty challenging, but I watched them play Highland Prep, and I feel like we can get them.
Okay.
So.
And actually, Odyssey Prep, that's coming up Monday at their place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Odyssey Prep, the Minotaurs. That is such a cool mascot name, man. I'll tell you. I think it's better than Tonopah Valley. They're just called the Phoenix. It's like, huh? Like, who came up with that one, man? But no, Minotaurs. That is a cool one. And so that's going to be kind of interesting, Coach, because you talked about ALA. It's ALA West Foothills because there are like about a dozen ALA schools out here in Arizona. But ALA West Foothills, Yuma Catholic, those are actually your last 2 matches of the regular season. Both are going to be on the road. So yeah, that could be that could be where your playoff hopes are decided there. Those last 2 matches, huh?
Well, if we keep winning until those matches, hopefully not.
Okay. All right. And Avery, as we're coming up to the last couple of minutes of this show, if there is maybe one thing about the season so far that you have really enjoyed with Chino Valley Volleyball, what would it be?
The team. I love my team this year. They're so, funny and sweet and kind. And all of us are, we care about each other. And that's just, something that's kind of new. So.
Okay. Liliana, what about you? If there's one thing up to this point you have really enjoyed about Chino Valley Volleyball for 2025, what would it be?
How fun we make practice and the games and, after the games, on the bus rides home. But I love the bus rides. They're my favorite. Just hearing everyone laugh together and sing, it just feels good to be on the team.
Some epic singing battles on the bus.
We do.
Okay, so may I ask now, music lover that I am, what exactly do you sing?
Gosh.
A lot of Bruno Mars, that's for sure, and Adele, and Beyonce. There's a lot.
Okay.
There's anyone and everyone. We sing the songs.
So like no Iron Maiden, no Amon Amarth, no Cannibal Corpse, nothing like that.
No.
Cannibal Corpse would be easy. It's like you don't even have to say a word. Just go.
Isn't that on a bus full of girls?
Yeah. No.
What? You know how many female singers there are who can do harsh vocals?
Not us. We're more high pitchy tones.
Oh, okay. Well, you can always practice harsh vocals. I mean, just listen to some Ginger, listen to some Arch Enemy, and just pick up some ideas from there. Okay, they're not going to take
Maybe
me up.
they'll
on
do
that.
it once for you, John. Maybe.
I think that's a big maybe. Look, especially looking at Liliana's face. She's like, nah, not even if you pay me, man. All right. Well, folks, and by the way, like Cannibal Corpse can do that a lot better than I can because they can sing and I can't. Anyway, folks, we're coming up to the end of the show. Coach Soto, Avery, Liliana, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on Tri-City Sports Roundup. And best of luck to Chino Valley Volleyball the rest of the way. And, of course, we'll be giving everyone updates on how you're doing. And hopefully we'll be giving you folks updates on Chino Valley in the playoffs this year. Ladies, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, folks, a lot of stuff going on today over on our sports station, the team, 1450 AM KNOT. We've got Major League Baseball playoffs coming up at 10:30 this morning. We've got the Cubs and Brewers. Then at 3 p.m. today, it's the Dodgers and Phillies. We've got the National League playoffs over there. And don't forget, next Friday, more Prescott football for you. It's another road trip. Thankfully, it's only up to Flagstaff, so not that long a haul. Prescott will be taking on Coconino. 6:45 for the pregame show here on KYCA. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Well, folks, thank you very much for joining us today on Tri-City Sports Roundup. Dr. Hancock next at 9, followed by Drive Time AZ at 10. Have